Hello and welcome to Module 11 of the Profitable Book Incubator. I'm so excited that you're still with me. This has been a long journey. Got a few more things to go over, but this one is really I feel a really good training because it really helps you create more clarity around not only what you're doing, but now how you're going to phase into the marketing, which will be the next topic. So let's dive in, shall we? We're going to be talking about your message and your bio. So your message. This is not necessarily about you specifically. This is about your book's message. And this is where you're going to kind of create an elevator pitch for your book. This is where you're going to figure out how to put the right words together in as less amount of words as possible to completely illustrate what your book is and who it helps and how it helps them. So this is a simple form. The problem today is this is where you're going to share a fact or a problem. You're going to share information about what the problem is, and then because would be why. So you're going to really want to kind of dive into, let's see if I have some instructions here to kind of clearly give you more details. So the problem today is maybe 4 out of 5 people, say we're talking about weight loss, 4 out of 5 people struggle with weight loss because they don't have the proper diet and exercise plan that will work for their body type. So my book, Weight Loss Tips and Tricks, will share, and then I'm going to give specific outcomes or specific topics I'm going to be discussing in my book. So I'm going to actually show you a real example. This was the course I'm creating now is going to become a book, and this would be the message for the book. I don't have a name of it yet, so that blank below, we're going to fill that in as we do it. But the problem today is that 9 out of 10 female entrepreneurs are struggling with a minimally profitable business because even though they're truly passionate about what they do, because they don't have a clear strategy to attract instead of chase down a steady stream of clients. So my book, and my book is not on, my book will not be on writing a book. My book will be on how to create a profitable business by monetizing your story. But that will share a step-by-step formula on how women like you can share your story, brand your story, and most importantly, make lots of money using your story as your secret weapon. So that would be, if I create a book around my current business focus, what I'm coaching on now, that would be the message that that book would convey. So let's back up and have you look at that framework one more time. That framework is actually in the signature book blueprint for you to fill out, but take a little time to put that together. And then we'll go to your bio. So your bio is your writing, your paragraph or your page or your little sentence that will illustrate who you are and what you do. So the first thing is to introduce yourself. You always want to write this in third person. For example, Jane Smith is a freelance writer rather than I'm a freelance writer. Or Christy Ruffino is a business coach rather than I'm a business coach. And then you want to dive into your education and credentials if you have them. So basically your education, maybe include any names or degrees you may have earned, any additional certifications, anything that's really relevant. Now you don't want to add a bunch of credentials if they're not relevant, but if it's relevant to what you're doing now, then include that. And then you go into notable achievements. So anything that you've done to kind of elevate you to where you are now, and then wrap up with a closing statement. So I'm going to show you a real life example of mine. Here we go. So it's all broken down into the four different pieces. So Christy Rufino is a breakthrough speaker on topics of client attraction, story brand marketing, relationship networking, and referral generation. She is the author of the best-selling book, Treasured Tribes, and the compiler and co-author of 8 best-selling books in the media favorite Overcoming Mediocrity series of books. Christy is a master strategist on how to brand and publish your story to create a visible and highly profitable magnetic business. She is the president and founder of the Dynamic Professional Women's Network, and for the past 16 years, she has ignited a global movement of ambitious women who want to build a thriving business around their passions and their gifts. Christy teaches story brand marketing as both live events and live webinars, and consults with women all over the world. So let's back it up and look at that framework again. I introduced myself, I shared education and credentials, notable achievements, and a closing statement. So it's all there. It's all there. So take some time and figure out yours. Now, some tips with your bio. There's a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. As I mentioned earlier, your bio should always be in third person and should sound as though it were objectively written by somebody else. Although you've written it, it's got to be written as if somebody else wrote it about you. You do want to use the third person, but on occasion, specifically when you're doing your website bio, you could possibly use first person. I've seen it a lot, and really what that does is it helps your bio become more personalized, more casual, and more personality driven. It will allow you to be more creative on how you connect with your website visitors. But in everything else, you want to stick to the third person narrative. The length, you should have different versions of your bio for different purposes. And I actually keep a document in Dropbox. I don't know why I was having a meltdown there. A Dropbox document that has my bio. So no matter where I'm at and what I need, I have access to that. And so you may want a 1-sentence bio, like really short for social media or your elevator pitch. A 1-paragraph bio, this is about 100 words or more. And then having a full page bio is helpful because it allows you to change and add more or take away some if you need certain pieces that you don't have in your short bio. Your bio can also be included on your about page of your website or your media page. If you're a speaker, you want to have that accessible all of the time for any of your meeting planners, on the back cover of your book or the last page of your book, at the end of articles you write for other people, blog posts on your website or other people's websites, again, your social media profiles, like I mentioned. When you're a speaker, you want it sometimes included in the event agenda. I am going to be a sponsor here in a few weeks, and my bio will be in the event agenda or the event program guide. And then if you're on any kind of other people's shows, like a telesummit, a webinar, or on their podcast, a lot of times they will need your bio to either speak it or to include it in the show notes. So you really want to make sure you have that available very easily. When I actually did this for an event and I'm the sponsor for, I somehow I missed the instruction where I had to send them my bio. And so they just found it from my website very easily. So it made that process smooth. And so your homework now is to keep writing, work on the message for your book, and work on your bio. And that's all for today. I will see you in the next module. Bye-bye for now.